Hello, everyone's. I am here for my review of Married to Medicine, Season 12, Episodes 1 and 2. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am Lady T. I like to do reviews on scripted shows, reality shows, and also the reactions. If you're returning, you one of my peoples, welcome back. Toya and Eugene have moved yet again. Now, I don't know how many times that they have moved since they have been on this show, but I can say it has been at least 4. And I'm assuming that they finally bought this house because she said now we're no longer renting. But I thought that last house that they had custom made, they had bought that house. But correct me if I'm wrong, because it has been like a few seasons since I've actually reviewed the show. I watched it last season and the season before that, but they kind of mushed together a little bit. But I will tell you, chef's kiss, that house is gorgeous. The decor, everything. The only thing that kind of I didn't like, I liked the chairs that was at the island. I just didn't like the fabric on it because I'm like, I am the type of person, I am 40 years old. I will be 41 in February. Until this day, I could go all day without spilling anything on me. As soon as I put some white on, bam, I done spilled a latte on me. Did I go to my blueberry and blackberry that I'm eating for breakfast? I done spilled that. I just know me, so I'll be like, yeah, I wouldn't want that type of color. And I wouldn't want fabric. But, the chairs itself look beautiful. Whole house look beautiful. But they're adjusting to Eugene being gone 5 days a week because he is working 2.5 hours away. But, the incentive is that he got a big pay grade. So I'm pretty sure that would make Toya happy. She did make this comment that, he could have a whole other family and wouldn't nobody know. And he was like, yeah, he couldn't afford a whole nother family. I was like, the way, with Toya's, lifestyle and the finer things she's liked, no, you could not afford 2 families. And I'm not even going to shade her on that. She's on this show. She making some money too. You a doctor. You making some good money. She want to have this fabulous life. Yeah, I'm all for it. I would love a... No, take that back. Old me would have wanted a house like that. New me, not so much after I realized, upkeep is expensive. Give me a 3-bedroom. If I could afford it, I would definitely get a house like that. But right now in this budget, I wouldn't. I know this ain't got nothing to do with me. But long story short, the house is beautiful. Eugene, he is now working 2.5 hours away. And the boys basically feel like, well, this seems like the same to me. And Contessa have bought a building. And they're renovating. And now they paid cash for this building, 1.2 million, I believe, and then the renovations is 400,000. So Contessa is working every single day, multiple hours a day, so they can have some money to these renovations. They done cashed out their stocks, their bonds, their IRAs, their 401ks. It's like they at ATM at this time. Now, I've said this several times on videos. I love, a good HGTV show. And I learned a long time ago that, you might have a budget for this. You might want to double that. Because once we get behind walls and whatnot, you don't know what things is looking like. Now, I think it was Flip This House or Flip That House. It was some show. It was over 15, about 15 years ago maybe. These people bought this house. And I don't know if they didn't do an inspection, which you should always do. Even though I have no training, I have no certificate or no degrees in real estate. But I do know that. They got this house. And when it was time to do renovations, they had to tear the whole house down because all the wood behind, the sheetrock was rotted. You know how mad I would be if I bought this house for the house itself and I was just going to do a little renovation and now I got to tear the whole house down and start over. You might as well bought a plot of land and then just build freely like that, because that's basically what they had to do. So they're dealing with it was supposed to take this long, but it didn't. That's another thing. They say it's gonna take 2 weeks. Try adding 2 months. Yeah, but you know they don't seem as like, even though this is the first episode of season 12, they seem to be getting along and not irritated with each other. If y'all know what I mean, because y'all know it seemed like they was always like on the verge of like she was just ready to hop, skip, and run and just go on. Their relationship in the past always seems so stressful, and it don't seem like that now. So hopefully this continues. I do not believe that Simone wants to repair what relationship she had with Quad. Seeing as how she done brought Quad's ex-husband and his fiance turned wife on the show around the group. She also wouldn't have gone on Greg's new wife's YouTube channel and start talking about Quad's finances if she wanted to repair her relationship with Quad. Like, why are you discussing Quad's finances? Like, what do you know? Because apparently Quad, she's making money from the show. I don't know. Maybe she got some investment somewhere that she's not talking about. But Simone has always had these like all up in Quad's business. I guess because she's a single woman, and like, how is it that you, a single woman, was able to rise and have such a beautiful household? So clearly you getting somebody elsewhere. And then they discussed that Jackie mad. Simone and what's her name, Toya, they met up because they getting ready to go to some event, and Toya's talking about how Jackie is mad at her because of comments she made on the show about basically, what is his name? What is Jackie's husband's name? Curtis. He need to keep his hands to himself, which is true. And I guess that hit a nerve with Jackie because Curtis was a few years ago caught in the busiest airport in the world with some woman who was not Jackie. So, yeah, he was out here doing something he wasn't supposed to. He's out here cheating, allegedly. And then there was a picture, he was like on the end, looked like he was hugged up with Heavenly. And I was like, if you didn't know these people, you would have thought that was his woman. And then that time he pulled Toya into his lap, I felt some type of way about that. But you mad at Toya for commenting, and it seemed like you both mad at her for commenting about it than you was for Curtis for doing it. And then they discussed Heavenly and how Damon Jr. was arrested. Now, y'all, I don't really keep up with the news like that, and you know what's going on with the people. Like, if it come, I'm not searching for news, but like if it come past me on social media, but like, oh, that happened, and go about my business. What exactly did he do? Because it seemed like he got arrested, but the way that Simone is talking about it, she was like, yes, we are raising black men, and you know, basically they are out here to get the black men. I'm like, I agree. I'm not saying that she is wrong. I do believe that too. But in this specific situation with Damon Jr., was this we got to take him down? Or was he out here doing something that led him to getting arrested? I'm just asking. Heavenly, she is mum's the word on this. Everybody else, had this been somebody else's child out there, she would have hop, skipped, and jump on her YouTube channel to talk about it, because that's what Heavenly does. But since this is her child, she's not bringing anything up. I know people like that. Like, they'll tell you everything that's going on with everybody in the world, but something happened to them and their family, you won't hear from me. I don't think I would want Jackie as my doctor. I don't. Jackie doesn't seem like she has good bedside manners, which I think is essential if you're gonna be a doctor. I'm just so glad that the doctors that I have are wonderful. They ask the right questions and they never sound rude or anything. If anything, it's like, oh, you got this going on, this right here, this is not going to work. Not so much as me, it's like what medication or whatever treatment that I need to get done. If y'all don't know, I have lupus. So, I have to see a rheumatologist and I have to see several doctors. And my doctors, okay, I don't like this type of medicine for you. I don't like this dose, I'm going to do that. It's always the treatment like, oh, I don't like this treatment that you have. We're going to switch this up and get things better. Jackie, she don't seem like the type of doctor is going to have good bedside manners. Because we're at an event that Mimi and her husband, I cannot think that man's name, are throwing. Jackie is meeting someone for the first time. Walks up to this lady, is like, is your thyroid enlarged? Ma'am, what is wrong with you? Why is it that Jackie always, like, I wonder what is going on in her mind before she makes this statement. Remember, some seasons ago, she got on the mic. Duffy, you're infertile. Do y'all remember that? And then she got to talking about when women are pregnant and they just want to get off of work. I don't know, man. Maybe they are tired of being on their feet. They're tired because they are carrying a baby. They're tired. They've been throwing up for the past few months because they got morning sickness. And in my opinion, I've never had kids. But in my opinion, I think if a woman does not feel good and is uncomfortable when she's pregnant, I think she should get time off to rest. Recuperate. That, to me, I'm not no doctor, and I never appeared to be one. But you would think not being stressed out from working would be better for the mother and the baby. But Jackie's like, they just want to get off of work because they almost make it seem like they want to be lazy. Now we're here meeting somebody for the first time. Is your thyroid enlarged? It's like there's other ways we can handle that. I don't know. Maybe getting her off to the side and be like, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but it seems like your thyroid is a little enlarged. You might want to get that checked out. There are better ways of doing this. And even Simone was like, really? You just gonna be like, girl, your neck big. Like, I really need somebody to sit Jackie down and like, girl, you need to stop doing that. That is so ugly as a person of you. And it's just like, you really sat there and just like, and it's like, she said it almost in a hate. It was very mean and ugly, and I just could not stand it. But the lady who she was talking about, I'm going to get her name. I do apologize. She was like, she heard that, Jackie likes to make some shady comments like that too. But Jackie, she going to come and roast the wrong person. And I'm going to say something, and y'all Jackie fans, y'all just going to have to drag me. Now, would doggone this lady be wrong if she had after Jackie looked at her like, is your thyroid enlarged? Excuse me. Would she be in her full right to be like, do you have an unhealthy relationship with your weight? Just saying. Because I am not body shaming anybody. I know people's weights fluctuates. Me being one of them people. When I was sick last year, I lost 20 pounds in a month. And I got down really, really small. So I know people's weight can fluctuate. I got on medication that made me eat all the time. So I picked up all that weight back and some. So I'm not judging people whose weight fluctuates, whether it's by medication or if they just want to eat a lot. With Jackie, I don't know if this happened after she was diagnosed with cancer to where, like, she tried to live a healthier life to, help, with the cancer treatment. But Jackie, she is very, 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 very thin. And not just, okay, she's small, but she's, like, frail with it. So, how would she feel if somebody had to come up to her like, girl, you look sickly? Would she be mad? Yeah, that's my husband over there. But yeah, I just, these comments that Jackie be doing, I mean, like, girl, you gonna come across the wrong person. Heavenly is running for state representative. And I'm just wondering, how's that gonna work? Because, she will say, yo mama in a minute. She will not gonna drag you up, down, left, right, sideways, vertical, in a circle, in an octagonal shape. Yeah, so I was like, maybe there's some people out there that like really ride for Heavenly, but some other people gonna be like, I would not want this person representing my state. But some people probably like, yeah, somebody with a mouth like that that's gonna represent us the way we need to be represented. Yeah, okay, we gonna vote for her. But she's dealing with the issue with Damon Jr. being arrested and her finding out on social media. And Damon Sr. not telling her about it. Now, yeah, I'll be upset too. if I had found out, if I was a mama and I found out that my child was arrested and my husband didn't tell me about it. Now, apparently this happened in 2022. I thought this was within the last year. She didn't find out until like a few years later that he had been arrested. And it wasn't like, oh, he was just walking down the street minding his business and the police just jumped out and arrested him. It said assault on an officer, a law enforcement officer. Now, I'm just going to say this. It could have been a situation where they trying to handcuff him and he's like, wait, what's going on? Now they didn't add the charge on it. I don't know the specifics, but I do know I would be upset if I found out something. Like, I'd be upset with my mama when, like, she was like, yeah, this didn't happen. I was like, when did that happen? And it's something small, but your child being arrested and you finding out on social media. And I know she was like, well, dang, I know they really going to be dragging me now because I didn't drug every last person in this group. And now my child that went out here and got arrested. And it's all over social media. I know she's like, dang, how am I going to finagle out of this? I feel sorry for Heavenly. I mean, she be really messy all the time and be in people's business and, gossiping about her friends and whatnot. But I know one thing. She loved that husband of hers and she loved her kids. And after finding out on social media that Damon Jr. had been arrested, she said some things, probably cussed him out, made him feel real small about himself, and now he done left home, and she hasn't talked to him or physically seen him in months. And she just want him to come home. Like, she want her baby home. That's her oldest son, yes. And him not talking to her, it's like, it's really, really painful for her. Now, I'm not going to say, like, I know the feeling, but, like, my nephew was maybe, like, 4 years old. Wait a minute. He like 4 or 5 years old, and I was going out of town on vacation, and that little baby looked at me and said, Auntie, please don't go, I'll be good. And I just broke. And that's just my nephew. I was only going to be gone for 2 weeks, and him crying broke me. What I tell you. So I just know, I mean, it's not the same. So like, if just my nephew like broke me like that, I know Heavenly was just like, oh my goodness. Like, even to this day, my nephews are 18 and 16 years old. You can't tell me they still ain't my babies. Yes, they are taller than me. Both sound like grown men, but they are my babies. So I'm like, if I would feel that way, I just know she is like going through it. Like, my baby boy, grown and all. This is having thinking in my mind when she going through. He don't want to talk to me because the way I talk to him. But then I'm also looking like, so you was out here getting arrested, and when I chastise you about getting arrested, you get mad at me for and leaving home? Well, like, I just gotta, I realized a long time ago, no matter how old I am still my mama's child, and she is still going to try to treat me like a child. And that's just my mama. Like, I don't care if you grown and been married for over 10 years. I'm still treat you like, not treat me like a child, but like, yeah, I'm still going to feel some type of way, and I'm still going to tell you how I feel about whatever's going on in whatever situation. Yeah. So I did feel so. I felt bad that, Damon Jr., he didn't up and left because he was mad that his mama cussed him out because he got arrested. Contessa and Scott are still having some issues with the progress of the renovation of their building. And I don't know why they gave up their last practice, but that seems like maybe that wasn't such a good idea because now they're steady losing patience because, hey, I can't get them into an actual building so I can take care of them, so they're going elsewhere, which I would completely do. If I need to come and see you and you have nowhere to see me, I'm going to have to take my business elsewhere. They already have Toya and Eugene already thinking about renting out one of the spaces, but the place is not done yet. Now, I'm wondering, like, before they hired the contractor that they have now, did they get quotes from elsewhere? Like, the issues, is it with the contractor himself, or is it okay, we was doing this and we found out this was wrong with this. Like, what was the issues? Like, oh, this particular sink that you want to get for the kitchen area, that's gonna be out of stock for another 2 weeks. I'm one of those, but the issues is like she's working all the time. They didn't cash out 401ks, IRAs. They didn't cash, like, just liquid cash putting into this building. But I'm like, maybe instead of like getting rid of the practice that y'all had, still have that to where you have clients coming in, making money and not giving that place up. I mean, like, did they have to give it up? Because, like, the money we would have put into renting this place over here that is making money, we needed that for the renovations. And, like, sometimes, like, yeah, you want to be in this location, but, like, money-wise, maybe we should start somewhere else. It's good they have their own building, but, like, having your own building and then, like, you don't have no patients coming in, that's not really feasible to me. But, like, hopefully they can get things together. But, like, did they, like, get different quotes from different people and being like, okay, it's going to be this cost, demolition, doing the renovations and all these other things? Like, what is the contractor not coming in? I want to know more about that. Oh my goodness, Toya's dog drowned in the pool. Now, I know what it feels like to lose a dog. When I was real little, me and my brother, we lost our dog, and it was so devastating. But some years ago, my uncle, in 2002, got a dog. Had a dog for a while. When my uncle passed, my auntie, she couldn't take care of the dog anymore. So the dog came to me, my mom, and my brother's house. We had him from like 2010 to 2014, but we've had in the family since 2002. My mama treated our dog bear like doggone it. He was family. Like, he was, like, in his later years, he really wasn't one of those come pet me, all that stuff. He was more of, okay, make sure I got some food and I got some water. And if anybody comes around the fence in the backyard, I'm a bark. So anytime, I'm walking by the fence and I'm coming up, people, I'm like, it's us, Barrett, and he'll just go about his business. And my mama he was living on dog food and chicken nuggets, which he got spoiled by my grandma, because my grandma, when she would come to Georgia to visit, she would put some hot dog juice on the dog food, and he got used to that. And when my grandma would go back out of town, home, he'd be like, well, where's the hot dog juice at, and the little pieces of hot dog? I have become accustomed to this. I don't want to eat this dry dog food. So, he was like that. He was eating chicken strips. My nephew would eat like one piece of his drumstick and be like, I'm going to get it better. No, you better eat the meat on that bone. So my mama went to go feed him, and he was just like laying down. And usually if the door opens, he'll look up, but he didn't. When I tell you, I cried all day long, because I'm like, I was just thinking, like, was he scared? Did he know? It was an instant. I was like, all these things was like running through my mind, and I was just crying. And I'm like, how are my nephews gonna take it? Because they was like really young then. And when they did find out, my nephew was like, it was probably that hot piece of chicken I gave him. And I was like, first of all, you wasn't even here, and I don't know what hot piece of chicken you gave him. But I do feel bad for twins. Like, I know what it's like to lose a pet. And it's like, I was just so devastated. So I'm like, was he crying? Was he running to the house? Because he was, going to sit by the back porch. And then halfway there, he just collapsed. I was just going through, like, all of the emotions. So I'm like, I feel sorry for Toya. I feel sorry for her kids and Eugene, because they done lost their pet. And she had this pet for 18 years. We had Bear from 2002 to 2014. Yeah, we had Bear for 12 years. So, like, He was up in age. He didn't, he don't want to play fetch. He didn't want to do this. Give me some food, give me some water, and I will bargain somebody come to, by the gate. And like he didn't even want to be in the house. My brother had to lift his big tail up to bring him in the house because it was so freezing cold outside. Because he was like he wasn't an inside dog. So it was like I don't want to be inside. Like the floor feels weird on my feet, but yeah, this ain't got nothing to do with Bear. But I do feel sorry for Toya. I don't know why the ladies are surprised that Toya would have a funeral for her dog Bailey's. This is the same woman who threw a party because they paid off their debts. This is the same woman who threw a party because she got her new Birkin bag. So throwing a funeral for her dog, that just seems right up her alley. And she was saying how, like, that day when Bailey's head went on, that she had pooped on a rug and she thought she was going to get in trouble. So that whole, she was just scared, just waiting for Toya to yell at her. And Toya's glad she didn't yell at her because she would, hate for that to be the last moment that Bailey remembers. And she feels that, like, they got their new house, and Bailey knew that she was going to be gone from this world, and was like, okay, y'all good, I can finally go down. Now, y'all, I do believe, like, animals be doing stuff, because you be seeing in nature, like, when something finna pop off, and the animals be doing, and they get up out of there, like, okay, we gonna get up out, something is about to go down, so we gonna leave. I was watching something one time, and it was like, it was always right before like some kind of disaster happened. It was a particular animal, and I'm horrible at this. Why I'm trying to explain, but the animals would always leave right before something was going to pop out. So I do believe in that. Like the animals be knowing, like. I've seen several videos to where like people they got cameras in their house and like right before earthquake happens, the dogs be grabbing the children and like getting out the way. It's like they could sense things that's going on. But it was like this is right up Toya's alley, throwing a funeral for a dog. It's like I'm pretty sure she's not the first person to do that because this look like this is a particular place. At the pet cemetery where you can have a funeral for. Is Simone still mad at Quad because Quad got on, talking about the ladies from the sister circles really was there for her and they are her real sisters? Is she still angry about that comment? Correct me if I'm wrong, but that comment came because at the time or a little bit before, Quad was going through her divorce with Greg, and she had expressed what was going on in her relationship with Greg, and I'm believing that the ladies did not believe her story. So she got with some ladies who heard her out and believed her. So she was like, these new people that I just met recently have been real sisters to me. So now the ladies on Married to Medicine was feeling some type of way. Is it, or did I just make that up in my head, or I'm adding some and forgetting some? Correct me if I'm wrong. But like Toya, not Toya, but Quad and Simone do the same thing, and they don't see it. Simone, you mad because Quad is talking about you, but then you will go talk about her, but get mad for her coming back and talking about you. And same thing with Quad. Jackie decided she gonna throw a "we need to come together and squash our issues" event while dressing sexy in heels. Now, y'all, I have not put on a pair of heels since early pandemic, and I got some cute booties and some cute boots that I have not stepped my foot inside in, and I don't even know if I'll be able to wear heels again because I done got so used to wearing Crocs and flats that like that's my new norm now. Like, if I'm leaving out of my house, I got on either a pair of Crocs or a pair of flats. If I'm inside the house, I got on some house shoes or some slides. So, like, I want to get back into my wearing my heels again, but I don't know if my body will, like, let me do it. Like, it's frustrating. I got some cute shoes. This ain't about me. This is about them. So, is that the reason why, what's her name? Simone is still mad at Quad. These two get the doggone crying about how they love each other, and I'm like, how long is this gonna last? And I'm with New Girl. Her name skipped me, but the one that Jackie was you got thyroid issues. That lady, she seemed nice, but she was like, this is like a soap opera. Like, I love you, but I hate you. I was like, it was giving that because Quad my girl, but Quad is very dramatic. Curtis is upset with the comment that Toya had made about him needing to keep his hands to himself. And I don't think it would have been as big of an issue if he hadn't been caught out with a lady who wasn't Jackie in the busiest airport in the world. But since he did do that, now if you see him with a woman who is not Jackie, people gonna be like, oh, he had her cheating again. So you can't really get, I mean, you can get mad, but like, you really got the nerve to be mad because the decision that you made to put a spotlight on y'all relationship. But okay, Toya, she wasn't just out of nowhere being like, yes, he need to keep his hands to himself. She was asked a question, and she was like, maybe he needs to. And then on top of that, Jackie is mad because she feels that Toya hopped in Curtis's lap. Toya was standing there talking about whatever she was talking about, and Curtis pulled her into his lap. Now, she should have hopped up immediately. I don't remember if that happened. But, like, I would have been like, what's going on? You should be mad at, I mean, I guess Jackie don't remember, but I remember that. And then they showed it this season. We only episode 2, but we seen him pull Toya into his lap. And then we seen the picture where it's multiple people there, but the way he's like got his hand on Heavenly, you would have thought if you ain't never met these people that they was a couple. So you are mad that the actions that you've been doing look kind of questionable, so but you don't want her talking about it. That's what I got out of this situation. Tell me what y'all think. Curtis is upset with the comment that Toya had made about him needing to keep his hands to himself. And I don't think it would have been as big of an issue if he hadn't been caught out with a lady who wasn't Jackie in the busiest airport in the world. But since he did do that, now if you see him with a woman who is not Jackie, people gonna be like, oh, he had her cheating again. So you can't really get, I mean, you can get mad, but like, you really got the nerve to be mad because the decision that you made to put a spotlight on y'all relationship. But okay, Toya, she wasn't just out of nowhere being like, yes, he need to keep his hands to himself. She was asked a question, and she was like, maybe he needs to. And then on top of that, Jackie is mad because she feels that Toya hopped in Curtis's lap. Toya was standing there talking about whatever she was talking about, and Curtis pulled her into his lap. Now, she should have hopped up immediately. I don't remember if that happened. But, like, I would have been like, what's going on? You should be mad at, I mean, I guess Jackie don't remember, but I remember that. And then they showed it this season. We only episode 2, but we seen him pull Toya into his lap. And then we seen the picture where it's multiple people there, but the way he's like got his hand on Heavenly, you would have thought if you ain't never met these people that they was a couple. So you are mad that the actions that you've been doing look kind of questionable, so but you don't want her talking about it. That's what I got out of this situation. And tell me what y'all think. So now Toya and Heavenly are fighting about Heavenly running for state representative. Heavenly's going on about, do you know what a state representative is? And Toya's going on about, like, I would not vote for you. You talk trash about people. Well, I do kind of agree. How you going to be in politics when they going to be digging up dirt on you if you can't even handle the situation with Toya? In politics, pre-2016, in politics, you know, they dug up dirt on people, was trying to catch them in some lies and stuff like that, but it wasn't grimy like it is in this current situation that we've been in post-2016. Like, you would think that, you know, you want your candidates to have some kind of composure. Then we going on about keep my kids out your mouth from Heavenly when she is talking about everybody in this group. But just don't talk about her kids. I don't think I could be on a reality show because I'd be like, oh my goodness, are we having the same conversation over and over and over again. That was the gist. If I let you think out, by all means, a comment below. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. It is free all day, every day, free 99. Make sure your notifications are on so when my beautiful face puts up a video, you can click on it, you can like it, and you can share it to people, and they can come over and be one of my peoples by clicking that icon above. This is Lady T signing off. Have a good one.